I never thought I'd be saying this, but I did it. I did what they said I couldn't do. They literally tried to force their figures onto me, to tell me that I wasn't capable, I wasn't able. It wasn't for me. It's impossible. It's so funny because now I just laugh because the word impossible is something that I've accomplished. Okay, you guys, welcome back to AskJNSPodcast, where we just be chatting. I am your lovely goddess of a hostess, Akai. What y'all doing? Y'all, we are back. Episode 3 with T Mama. Y'all, this is crazy. Like, I'm doing it like weekly, 9 a.m. every Tuesday. Stop playing with us. Eastern Standard Time, ho. Yeah. Okay, y'all. So we left off where I was heading over to the Bahamas. And I want to give you a little tea about that. What happened in this whole adventure going to the Bahamas on a cruise nonetheless. Now, mind you, y'all, I've never been on a cruise before. I've never been on that big of a body of water. I was absolutely terrified. Although I am a Pisces, 3-2 with T. You already know what's going on. Pisces gang March, what's up? Although that is me, I was still terrified to be on that big body of water because I just feel like, what's in that ocean, right? We don't know. We don't know. They can't figure it all out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like to be nosy and be up under there with the sharks and things of that nature. But I just feel like sharks and whales and fish and all of that is just surface level things. There's things down that we don't know about. Okay? There are things down there that we just don't know about. And I just don't want to be involved. A tsunami just scares the hell out of me, y'all. I can't do it. I can't think of big bodies of water and big fish. Child, I went to the Bahamas, y'all, right? This is back like some years ago, maybe like 2018, I want to say, 17, 18. I went to the Bahamas with one of my best friends and our homegirl, and it was a time. We flew there, obviously. It wasn't a cruise, but one thing I had on my bucket list was to swim with dolphins. I always say that, like, dolphins are like one of my favorite creatures, on top of butterflies and on top of horses. Those are like my 3 little jammy jams, right? And I was like, I'm going to swim with the dolphins. My homegirls went to go ride ATVs around the town, around the city, and they argued the whole time. They argued the whole freaking time, y'all. And I went and swam with dolphins by myself because I'm like, I got to do this. I don't know when next time I'm going to do it, when I'm going to have the courage to do it. Like, I'm just going to do it now. Like, I'll see y'all girls later. There's going to be other people there. I'm not going to be by myself. I'm just not going to be with y'all. So I ended up going, and I was terrified. Like, although dolphins they're not killers when it comes down to, like, humans and things of that nature. But to me, when I was in the water with these dolphins, they just seemed like puppies. Puppies don't know their own strength. They will nibble on you, bite on you, scratch you, pull your shirt, and things of that nature. And it's kind of like, ha, 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 he's so cute. And I think with dolphins, it's pretty much like the same, and they just don't know that they're that big. But I think they're so fascinating. They're so smart. I love the way that they communicate and so on and so forth. So I did it, but I was terrified, and just being in there and having it swim under my feet or pushing us through the water so that we can do these things. If y'all want to go see that video, y'all, because I have a whole video of me swimming with dolphins, and I also have a video of me in the Bahamas. And this video is my favorite video, the Bahamas video, because it just captured so much fun. It did, y'all. It's a good video. It's on my YouTube, y'all. Just look up my name, Jose Akai. If you need the name, you'll see it. If you have me on Instagram and things of that nature, you'll know how to get to my name. If you don't, just look at the podcast and you'll find out how to spell it. And go on YouTube and look up Jose Akai, and then just put in Bahamas trip or Bahamas, and it'll come up, and you guys get to see that. And it's one of my favorite ones, y'all. Like, anytime I'm showing people my YouTube, I really normally start with that one. You get to see me having some fun in the sun on vacation, doing the things that the girl does do. Anyway, back to it. Like I said, very scary when it came down to big bodies of water and the creatures. If the dolphins, which are pretty nice, are that big, like, imagine the whales and the sharks, and girl, bye, too big. I'm too small. I'm too petite. They call me Thin Mints. They call me Thin Mints, so I don't like being around all that big stuff. So anyway, y'all, let me get back to the cruise, right? So we get there. First of all, Royal Caribbean is where we went on. And the reason I chose Royal Caribbean is because, like, I had my two 18-year-old sons with me, y'all, because if we would have went to Carnival, they not ready for that. They're not ready for Carnival. They're not ready for that type of thing. That's a real turn up. That's 21 and up. Y'all need to be able to get your own drinks. Y'all need to be able to buy your own drink packages, so on and so forth. And then y'all need to be able to be slizzard and slammed every single night because y'all are grown. Y'all could do so, right? This was more family oriented where if they want to go run off and go do their own thing, they can because there's teens out there. There's 18-year-olds. There's, 19-year-olds and, whatever. People that are in their age group and their age range where they can communicate with, where I don't have to be bothered. And the reason why I bought his best friend is because I wanted my son to be able to have somebody with him so that if I don't feel like doing anything, I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if I want to go sit at the bar and go flirt with a man on a boat and get me some drinks for free, put it on his room and not mine. Y'all know what the vibes is. So first night, exactly what I did. I went down to the bar and, they went to go do their own thing. They exploring the whole ship and seeing what is what and, where everything was, child. I went straight to the bar next to the pizza place. You already know what I'm talking about. What is it called? Sorrento's or something like that? We went right next door or whatever the case may be. So I'm sitting at the bar by myself doing my thing. And of course, people are walking up to me, talking to me, sitting next to me, having conversations. You know how people do. And my energy is just always like gravitating. So people always come over to me and whatever. So I'm drinking. I'm two espresso martinis in. I'm a shot in. I'm doing what I was doing. I was a Patron Reposado. Listen, I was on that or Respirado. I was doing that Patron and I was having it in my espresso martinis with Baileys, of course. We love it light and sweet. We love a good cream. Oh, yeah. So I also got that and I just got a shot. So I got 2 drinks in a shot and I was like, I was feeling good. I was feeling nice. And I left. I went upstairs. I think I went and changed my clothes or something. I came back downstairs and I went back to that bar because I've gotten friendly with the bartenders and things of that nature. So you know how, if y'all know me, y'all know me. If y'all don't, I am a very baby, I'm going to have that whole place turned up. That's me. I am the vibes. I am the Jimmy. I am the jam, bitch. What's tea? So some girl comes over and she's like, just observing me, doing my thing and being the butterfly that I am. And she starts talking to me and we ended up being at the end of the bar. And we're going, I'm smoking her hookah because she got her hookah on her. She by herself. This is her second cruise in a row. And she's young. She's in her 20s. She's just living life and doing a thing. She ain't got no kids. She ain't got no responsibility. She just living. And I was loving it. So me and her was chitting and chatting and drinking. I was making her drink because she just came downstairs to get a quick little 1-2. She only wanted a Corona. But I said, girl. So I had the bartenders make us some free shots. Hello. Because I'm just that type of jam. And before we were drinking. And then while we were talking, some other girl came down here. And mind you, these people I don't know. So just put that out. She was like, I know you. Oh my God, I follow you. I love you so bad. And she just started to pour into me and just telling me how much I've helped her and how inspiring I am. And, she loves watching my videos. She loves it. And she was like, I've been around since before you even started to introduce your son to TikTok and the internet and da-da-da-da. And she was just going. Shout out to Chelsea, y'all. We love her. It was such a sweet thing. It made me feel good. I felt like super duper accomplished. Mind you, the girl that I just was talking to and then the girl Chelsea walked up, they ended up staying together for the rest of the cruise. Like, I low-key just I made them make a connection. They stayed together the whole time and I lived for it. But what had happened was my sons came downstairs and I was toe up. I'm talking about me and Scoob. It wasn't even me and Scoob. I was Scoob. I was Scoob and I was toe up, y'all. I could not do anything about it. I was so slizzard. Like, what? So, child, my sons came downstairs and I said, take me back to my room. Get me out of here. So we laughing about it. Well, they laughing about it, child. Got in my bed, went to sleep, makeup on, clothes. I don't even know if did I have my clothes on? I don't even remember, y'all. I was done. I was cooked. And then when I get drunk, it's a fun fact about me. When I do get drunk, I I wake up at the crack of ass of the morning. I'm talking about booty butt, naked up in the morning, fresh face, breath, funky, but I have so much energy. So I don't know what it is. Let me know, y'all, if that's y'all too. But for me, very much that. Like, I be needing. If I get slizzard, I'm getting up. Like, baby, let's go get some breakfast, which I did that next day. But anyway, it was a bunch of that. I probably didn't drink that much. I did drink a little bit more, maybe like almost like close to our last night, but not really. That first night really took TT out. Okay, now she not young how she used to be now. Now listen, when I tell you my age going up, I might be old, but I'm not old. But listen, I can't take it no more. My stomach be itching when I be drinking something. Before, when I was younger, y'all, I used to be able to just drink down, and it took a minute to get me there. But girl, bye. Hello, girl, bye. But the last night we were leaving the North Atlantic Ocean, and we were just heading back to Florida. And me and my son, both of them, they came over to my room because I had my own room. They shared a room. And they came over to my room. We sat on my patio. I had ocean view, so very beautiful. And we literally just talked. And it was so good. It felt so good because me and my son have not, I mean, don't get me wrong, like we talk, but we haven't talked like this in a minute. We haven't been open with each other. We haven't really been connecting. He has his own thing going on, his own life, and I have mine, and we are really trying to navigate. So the means of communication and just us being close was just kind of wavered. And he did, sometimes he's a teenager too also. So, things that I say or, ways that I feel he's not going to be feeling and vice versa. So it was so beautiful. It was such a good connection, and I loved it so bad. So glad for it. I was so glad for it. I'm appreciative of it. Like, I'm glad that it happened and needed to. And I was, they was doing a little one too, because in the Bahamas at 18, you're able to drink at, or whatever. So they were doing that, but they weren't really getting slizzard. Okay. They weren't getting slizzard. Then girl, so we wanted to go ride ATVs. My whole plan was to get them to the Bahamas, rent out some ATVs, and yeah, we outside. We gonna ride around the island and do our one. Girl, when I tell you they was really trying to charge crazy for the ATVs for an hour, $250 just for one ATV. Baby, this island ain't even $250 big. So, stop playing with me. But this was my whole plan, so I'm like, screw it, whatever. So I'm about to be 500 in, but I'm talking to them because you know how I am. And they are cutting it down. Okay, you can keep the ATVs for the rest of the day. That's until 5 p.m. And our ship leaves at 5. So we got to be bored. We got to be back on the ship by 5. So, and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm like, okay. And I said, well, you need to come down on that price. Like, I'm not paying $500. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, if so, we could walk. So he was like, a flat $400. I got you. And I said, you know what? Okay, $200 per whatever for 5 hours each. That seems like it's more worth it. Like, stop playing with me. Y'all don't have no money over here, so stop. I know that this is how y'all get y'all money, and I understand that, but you're not going to rate me either just to ride some ATVs that we can ride at home for the low. Almost free, child, please. So stop. So, I got to do a little chatting and whatever the case may be. My son ended up getting him a tattoo. It's so cute. He got him a tattoo, and me and his friend walked around, and we went to the bar. We drunk a little bit. We whatever. I showed my titty for $5. Whatever. It was, for the Bahamas. It was just for the vibes, right? Like she was like, can I feel your titties? The lady was like, can I feel your titties? I said, you got money? She was like, I got $5. I said, American? Because, bitch, don't nobody want that Bahamian money. Child, I can't do nothing with that over in the States. I can, but I can't. So I let that slide, let that happen, or whatever case may be. It was a vibe. The vibes were there. My card was not Listen, y'all, I had the money. The money is available. But my card was not going through for these ATVs. Y'all, it was really just God trying to tell me, girl, stop spending. It's not that serious. Y'all could do ATVs another time. Like, you're having a good time. That's a lot of money for some ATVs. Just relax. Like, it was really, and I tried it with 3 different people. I don't even want to say 3 times. I tried it probably like 6 times each. It was like 2 times each, but 6 times altogether trying to run my card. So, Navy Federal, babes. Girl, we're cutting your card. Yeah, call us when you're ready to reactivate it because it's really giving scammy. It's really giving people are trying to play with us and we don't play about our money. We don't have time for that. So it didn't happen, but everything still worked out perfectly. We got back to where we were going, and I got them drizzling, toe up. Now me and Scoob and them all toe up. I'm talking about throwing up and everything, child. Not me. I was the sober one because you're not gonna be the adult or whatever the case may be. But yeah. Overall, it was I give it a 10 out of 10. I would definitely do a cruise again. I'm not scared anymore. The water was so beautiful. At night, it was a full moon. It was warm outside, of course, right? And it's just calm. It's just so calm, and it just feels so good. I'm just like, you know what? I could do this again. And I'm a Pisces. I'm supposed to be touching water anyway. So, girl, it just felt good. I was singing on the patio. We was all singing on the patio trying to get the sirens to call us to the water. And I said, look, I'm a lady. They ain't calling for me. They don't do all that gay shit now. They coming for y'all. So when they start that singing, y'all start looking like y'all about to jump. I'm going to put y'all in the room. But if y'all can't help y'all, so y'all going to be swimming with the fishes. And that's... And that's going to be that on that. But it was an amazing thing, y'all. It was such an amazing thing. Now, okay, let's really tap into the episode, right? So this episode is going to be a little different. Now, what y'all don't know about me is I am a certified life coach. I've been certified for a little minute, and I said this before, but you don't really need to be certified, but I really just wanted education behind my mind, right? Behind my thought process, and just I want to be organized, and I want to be I just want to have it all if I'm going to be doing this, and I want to make sure I'm not missing a beat. So I went and took a class and did all the things, whatever the case may be. But anyway, I've always given advice. I've always been the friend that they come to. I've always been the one that was like a little bit more wise for my age because I've been through a lot. When you have a lot of experiences, advice kind of comes almost natural. I don't know. Y'all tell me. But I do want to get into this advice column. And it's going to be tea. It's going to be tea, y'all. We're going to get into it. So we're going to start with the first question. So firstly, before I even start into it, I had y'all send me y'all, situations that y'all are going through that y'all need advice with to the email. The email is always in the description of the podcast. It's always in the description of any of the videos that I post. It's always in the description of whatever I have going on. If I'm promoting my podcast, it's always going to be in that. So if y'all ever need to email and send anything, it doesn't matter if I'm requesting it or calling for it. You can just send your questions, and you can send questions in, and you can send in situations where you want to, you need advice. So yeah, we're gonna jump into that. And like I said, my YouTube is where you're gonna find the visual of this podcast. Okay, y'all, let's go for the first one. All right, it says, I've been in a relationship with this guy for a few months now, and I really like him. He recently introduced me to his family, and he has a brother I feel like I connect more with. Would I be wrong for trying to pursue his brother since it's only been a few months? Low-key a little lost for words. Y'all, I just kind of copied and pasted them. I didn't really look. I just copy-pasted, put it in the thing. So, baby, look, it's a surprise to me. But honestly, that happens, right? You can connect with people all the time. As far as it being his brother, that is way too close for comfort. That gives me very much like you just be going. So to be honest, I feel like if the brother is somebody you connect more with, the brother needs to be going too. He needs to be like, I can see myself dating you too. But that's going to cause a wedge between them. And I feel like that's just too sticky of a situation. You really need to like fall back from that. Like y'all been doing this for months. Months is a long time in relationship time, y'all. When you're talking to somebody, you're dating somebody, months is a long time. There's some feelings that have already developed, and you find that you have a connection with his brother. Baby, you didn't like him from the jump, because I don't know what it is, but for me, when I am talking to somebody, I am locked in, baby. I am locked in on that person, and I'm not looking at people of interest that are in their circle. So a brother, like, Love, just let it go. And I'm not judging you. There's nothing wrong with your feelings because your feelings are valid. You do find a better connection with the brother, but you cannot pursue the brother. Like, that's wrong. It's wrong to do. You're going to cause a problem between them. It's going to cause conflict with you. That brother's going to have resentment for you. Like, it's just too much that goes into it. And all over some men. Ugh, girl, you lost me with that one. So, to be honest, it's a no-go for me. It would be wrong. And I don't think you should do something like that because it's just too much at risk. Next time, take your time to get to know people. And if they're not what you're giving, make sure they're closer to what the brother was giving you. If the brother was closer to your connection vibes that you're looking for, that you wanted, that you were grasping for, then you need to look for somebody like the brother, not the brother, but like the brother when you're picking up guys. So you're not picking up the ones like the one you're already talking to, who you found a way to like somebody else in the meantime, in between time, even if it was his brother or not, like, you still found a better connection. So I think that we need to start taking time with people. We need to start taking a moment and taking a breather before we decide that we're going to kind of go all in with people or really invest into them. Like, if you saw that there were signs of this brother that really wasn't hitting for you, like the connection wasn't there, you should have discussed it with him. And once you have discussed it with him, and if nothing changed, you keep it moving because y'all are just in the talking phase. But to find a connection within his inner circle, right there, like in his family, girl, you ODing, and you know that. So, girl, you didn't even have to ask. You knew what that was going to hit on when you went and asked that question. But yeah, no shade, but it is what it is. Like, no, girl, calm your hormones. Put your pussy on ice, please. The brother is not that serious, girl. Go find something else to do. Go find something safer to do because it's just going to cause drama. That's it. That's all. That's what I have on that one. All right, y'all. Let's get into the next one. It says, I'm 19 and I live in the Midwest. I've been watching your journey on TikTok and I love you. I want to transition, but I'm scared. I still live with my parents and I do not know how they would react. I can't currently move out because I am in community college full time. So most of my time is spent on my studies. Please help. I just don't know what to do at this point. That is a very difficult situation, right? So although I've outed this boy before, I'm not about outing yourself if that's going to mess with your livelihood. Like, you're 19, so you can start making hormonal decisions, the doctor decisions, going to the therapist. You can make those decisions on your own. Tap into if this is you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us don't know. We just think that transitioning is just tapping into our femininity. Some people think like that, but it's a whole lifestyle. It's everything that you think it is not. There is ridicule, there is drama, there is just a bunch of naysayers. And I'm not deterring you from it because it's not that, but you need to make sure that this is what you are and who you are. So the best way to do that is to take yourself to a doctor. You did all your research, go to a doctor and have them, they're going to refer you, they're going to refer you to a therapist so you can go and talk to them. So the therapist can check to see, do I feel trans from you, or whatever. They have to make sure that this is the right decision because people get out there and trying to find a way to make themselves feel better because they're depressed or they're not feeling good or they're just hating their life or themselves or whatever the case may be. And they got to make sure that this is the step you want to take because once you start doing it, the further you go out is the harder it is to come back. Like, taking some hormones and then just stopping is one thing. That's why they want you to they want to give you going to therapy twice, at least talk to somebody twice. That's a letter that you have to pass on before you can even start the hormones. And then once the hormones come into place, they're going to have you taking them. They're gonna check your body out and check all your vitals and things of that nature and your blood work and all of that. And they're gonna make sure they diagnose you the correct way when it comes down to the hormones. And then you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna get testosterone blockers. Okay, which is going to all this stuff. it can give you migraines. It causes you to gain weight. Excuse me. It will have you with the mood swings, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. And it starts to change your body. You start to grow your breast tissue and things of that nature, right? You have to make sure that's something that you want. And if you do truly want that, you can do that. You can do that on your own without having that conversation with your parents. Finish school, get your things together. You can live yourself around people that are like you. And then when you get around your parents, unfortunately, it can be like that. But if you don't have anywhere to go, I would never suggest anybody to do anything that's going to put them at risk. Maybe throw out the conversation to them to see how they will handle the conversation, not pertaining to you, but as a general thing, or put something on the TV that has a trans person in it or whatever, and see how they respond and kind of go from there. Like if they're, kind of being very like judgmental and like this could never be, I would never, I couldn't, so on and so forth. Or tell them somebody that you've seen at school, make something up. Tell them, yeah, there's this trans person at my school and her parents, accepted her and blah, blah, blah. And so just try to tell them what you would want to hear back from them and see how they respond. They may be like, yeah, well, if it was my child, how would you feel if I was, huh? You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Check the temperature of your parents. You know them better than anybody else. But if you feel like your parents will push you to the side because of who you are, because I've seen it, y'all. I've seen it before, and I've seen it happen plenty of times where parents just, because you don't follow the way that they think, that you have to get out their house because you're not basically following their rules. So, like I said, just take your time and you can start the process now. Go start talking to people that are already transgender. Go talk to people that have started hormones. Go talk to people about how you can get to these places for free and without any talk from your parents. Even though you're 19, you sometimes they still want to reach out for like those references. So I say just do that, y'all. And when I tell y'all, now this is about what I have going on. I dated this guy, and he was open about who he was, right? But he wasn't open about who he was to his mom and his grandmother because they're Haitian. They're Haitian women. So he was just like, no, I know how they are. I cannot play like that, so on and so forth. Now, me and him used to be on the phone all the time, and his mom loved me, but she actually never had a real conversation with me, like voice to voice. She's only been like, oh, is that our girl? That's Jose. That's Jose. Like, she was just very there, like, oh, yeah, he's over here doing this, Jose. Like, just very that, just being that type of energy, that type of vibe. And then when he went to her and told her, like, who I was, she kicked him out. And he went to go live with his grandmother, and his grandmother was like, you will not play like that in my house. Like, it's a no-go. And he just couldn't help himself because it is who he was. So he ended up being homeless and being out on the streets and with nothing. He had to figure that shit out on his own, going to homeless shelters, staying with people, doing his roommate situations. He's really been out on his own for so long. So honestly, y'all, when I think about things like this, I think to myself, like, it's not worth it if you won't have anywhere to go, because it's like, don't get me wrong, he has got up on his feet. But, like, if you can just wait a year and kind of start saving up your money because you want to have this conversation with them, you need to prepare, basically, if they do want to kick you out, that you can get out on your own and go do your own thing. Because that's the only way that things won't feel like hopeless. And yeah, you might have to work through some stuff with your parents so that y'all can get back to better terms, because it takes people a second to transition with you, because you don't transition alone. You pretty much bring the people around you with you too, if they're willing, and you gotta give them a chance to get used to it. You gotta give them a chance to get used to seeing you in a different light, addressing you a different way. Like, those things take time, so y'all gotta give grace in that space. But that's my advice for that, boo. I really wish you the best of luck, because that is not an easy one to play with. Okay, y'all, let's get into the next one. All right, it says, I know this is probably gonna get me judged, but it is what it is. I've been cheating on my man for a few months now, and I recently looked through his phone and found out that he's been cheating on me too. On me too. Am I wrong for feeling away? Um, to be honest, no. I mean, your feelings are valid. You're allowed to feel slighted. How can you really react to it when you know you're doing your own thing, and you're just gonna have to accept the fact. You're gonna have to accept the fact that y'all just doing y'all. I don't know if you want to have that conversation with him, but I mean, you're out there doing you. So the way I feel about it, y'all, this is just for anybody. Like, if y'all are not happy in y'all situations, get out y'all situations. I know it's easier said than done. I know. No. There be kids, there be marriage and all of that, but people grow out of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first it was all, lovely and roses and butterflies, but now it's really just like lame. Like, sex not good, conversation is trash, like, hate being around them. Like, when it starts to get to that point, y'all, it's time to start thinking about ways to head on out. Cause I don't see what the point is to be with people if y'all just not happy. Neither party is happy in this one. I mean, you could feel away. That's just because you found out because you was all in that phone. They always tell you put that phone down. And another thing is too is like, to me, I feel like I wouldn't be going through my man's phone knowing for a fact that I'm outside doing something. Like, I don't want you to think about even looking at my phone. So I'm never going to ask to go through it. I'm never going to be in it. I don't even want to know your password. Do your own thing. That's your phone. So do your thing. So I think the mistake was looking for an issue and you found one. Now you got to have that in the back of your mind while you are slobbing on the knob of your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever you're into, and your man is out there doing the same thing. What do? You know what I'm saying? My only advice in this is either leave your husband or continue what you're doing and mind your business. Mind your business because he's not in yours. So I'm going to need you to stay up out of his. So, I mean, it really is just that. I know it's like a little bit harsh when it comes down to it, but at the end of the day, like, you can't. It's like calling the kettle, like the kettle black. Like, you just can't do that. You can't call a spade when you are a spade. When you spading out too, when you spading them legs, you can't really do much of that. So I think you should mind your business, or let him go. One or the other. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, this one says, I recently got a divorce and I am a single mom. How do you handle being a mom alone and being so far away from family because I'm scared of what's next? Please help. I mean, okay, so it's not easy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So as far as being single, that's what I do. Like, that's what I'm at. I'm a single mom. I've taken care of my son his whole life, by myself. I've handled the things as a single mom. He just graduated high school. Woot woot. This ain't about me though. Let's get into you. To be honest, it's gonna be fine. Like I just said, my son just graduated. He's going to college. He's well mannered. He's smart. There, you can still be a good parent even if you're not with someone else. And as far as doing it on your own, you just got to work around your child's schedule. Like, if you want to be a good parent, and obviously if you're reaching out for advice about how to make sure that things go, I don't want to say smoothly because they never do, but in your favor, then it seems like you're a good parent. So I would just advise for you to work around that child's schedule. Always, affirm your child and, let them know, like, it's okay. This is cool. Like, it happens. And people don't stay together forever. Sometimes things just don't work out. And if there's some truth that you're able to pass on to your kid about what happened in your situation, that will ease the blow of you being the single mom. Because a lot of time these kids do resent you for doing it all. Like, I don't want to say the parent is absent, but like when you have a parent that is not the dominant parent, who is not the one who the child is living with, they tend to get more praise than the parent who is the day to day. I'm here every single day. You get to go over there every weekend, but every weekend. And then you have parents that split it almost 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like we meet back up on these days. You take a week, I take a week. It's parents that do that too, right? So there's ways around it if there's going to be continuously be a co-parenting situation, right? But if you're doing this all on your own, you just got to do it. Like, you just got to go get those jobs. You got to keep progressing as yourself, and you have to spend time alone. Oh my God, please do not forget to make time for yourself. I learned that the absolute hard way. Literally the absolute hard way, figuring out that I can't put my son above every damn thing. It sounds like it's the way that it's supposed to go. Like, put my child first, my child, my child, my child, my child. Before you knew it, like, my mental health was declining. And my son is looking at me like, you good? Actually, boo, I'm not. The fuck? Like, I'm not good because I have done everything to make sure your life worked out. And I did nothing to make sure that I'm staying on top and staying stable. And as far as moving away from family, it's really hard to not have a support system. But if you're moving away from family, that pretty much signifies that you have the courage to do so, which means that you're able to make friends and a new family. And you just have to do that. You have to really use your discernment, and you have to really use that thought process to capture good friends, like Pokemon, child. Gotta catch them all. You have to capture these good friends, these good people that are going to be around you. This village. You have to create your village. You pick the type of people you want in your village and what makes sense to have around your child, and you'll still have that support without family being there. Just because they're not blood does not mean that they're not become family. And I've learned that I live all the way in Atlanta. My family is 700 miles away, y'all. 700 miles away, and I've been here for 8 years now. 9 for real, because the one time I did it, the one time. 9 years for real, I done did this Atlanta thing with just me and my son. And he has friends. I have, band moms. He's in his band. I have band moms. I have, guard moms. And these are the people that become the village. Like, hey, can you bring him home? Hey, can you da 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 when I'm working and I'm working late and I'm doing a thing. So it's not impossible, and it's not. It gets better. It does get better. You just need to find your grounding and your footing and start to meet people. Go to places that are family friendly so that you can meet more family oriented parents, moms, dads, whatever. And that starts to become a village because they're like, now that's your child's cousin. And, they become best friends because y'all are close or whatever the case may be. Or they can keep you posted. Or maybe they're going to the school trip that is whatever. And they can keep an eye on your kid too, while they're chaperoning or whatever the case may be. There's ways. You're just going to have to build your own village in that sense. It is hard. Trust me, it is. I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it gets better. It gets better. The divorce sucks. You just got to talk to your child. The move is going to be hard. You just got to be stable and make sure that all your ducks are aligned, especially if you're going to move a child with you. What I did was very much different because my support system is back home. So I left in 2018 for the second go around. I left in 2018 and my son stayed with my mother until he finished the 5th grade. Now I left in like September, so he's just starting school. He'd been in this elementary school since he was, since he started for real. I didn't want him to keep jumping around. I wanted him to finish 5th grade. Like I wanted him to go into middle school fresh and new. And plus, I had to go to Atlanta to get my life, to get things set up. And then when his school was done, my mom ain't wait a day. My mom ain't wait a goddamn day. She made sure that I knew, bitch. Okay, now, mama, it's time. Let go. So I flew up and I went and got him. And when he came home to his own room for once. Okay. He came home to his own room. He had a bed. He had his dresser. He had his TV. He had his video game. He had the things, right? And he was able to learn to get comfortable because he's not going anywhere. He's with me. Where are you going? Like, babes, I'm your mom. We're not doing too much traveling outside of here. So get comfortable, boobs. But it was a transition because he hated leaving everything that he knew to be everything that he knew. He hated leaving it. He hated leaving his family, his friends, the people he grew up with. Everybody's going to 6th grade together, and he has to go all the way to Atlanta. So it was not easy. Trust me. Me and him had ups and downs, but you just got to continue to navigate. Just know at the end of the day, your child is not like, be a good parent to your child. Talk to your child. Apologize to your child. Think about if it was you in their situation. Like, be more understanding that your child is a human being and not just a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, we tend to forget that we were children at one point, right? And children think. Children have minds. Children, have feelings, and they want this. They want to make their own decisions, even if they're not the best sound things. That's what parents come in at, but they are human beings at the end of the day. So just make sure you're keeping priority on their mental health, and make sure you're keeping the priority on making sure they're feeling comfortable in their new space, because it's going to be a rocky one. It gets like that. So good luck, girly. Like, I already know what this gives. I know what this gives. I know what it is, but it's doable, and I am proof that it's being done. And it was ups and downs, boobs. It was ups and downs, but we got there. We're here now. I don't look for help anymore. I stopped caring about who doesn't help and who doesn't look out for me, and why my like a family member or his family or whatever who's not looking at. I stopped caring about that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, it's my child. He's here with me, and I'm not about to keep punching the wall because nobody wants to help. I got him, and let that be your motivation. Woo, child. I'm a little triggered about that one, because but yeah. All right, yeah, I got another one. It says, I have 2 kids, born male and female. My 16-year-old son just came to me crying about what they feel they are. He said he feels like a girl, and he did not want anyone to hate him for it. She said, I'm so new to this, and I do not know what to do in this situation. I had to try something because I don't want to lose my child, but I also don't know anything about being trans. Please help. Child, I should have bought wine before I started this podcast. I'm not lying or nothing. I should have bought me some wine before I started this podcast. So it's hard. A 16-year-old is very young. I didn't transition until I was 26, y'all. So I didn't know any better. I didn't even know what it really was, because there was no representation, right? But if your child is feeling that way, right, the first thing you want to do is take them to go talk to somebody. Since you don't know, go take them to talk to somebody. Go look, do research, right? Maybe you do have to tap into this life. Maybe your child is trans, right? And if they are and they're just now discovering it, it's all new to them too. So do the research. Do the research with them. Let's look these things up. Do you feel like this? Start asking questions. A lot of times parents are so against it. And a lot of times it's not because you're trans. It's because they don't want you to go through what trans people go through. I mean, let's be real. People will not like you just because of who you are. People are angry with you off the rip. People are always trying to break you down, and you see it all over the internet. Let's be real. Go to any one of my videos on my Instagram or my TikTok or my Facebook, anywhere. It don't matter where you go. It don't even have to be mine. Go to any trans woman that you see. Go to the comments, and you will see the hatefulness that comes with the territory. It takes a strong person. So I feel like the goal is to make sure that your child is mentally strong. If they are going to be stepping down this path because that is who they are, you as a parent just need to be a supportive parent. Treat your child like it's just your child. Like, you don't have to be trans savvy to support your child on their journey, but you need to get trans savvy, especially because your child is 16. So 16-year-olds aren't really doing research like that. They're really not going as hard. They may look into stuff. They may watch a couple videos. They may, whatever. But go and look a little bit more and see what hormones do to a body, and talk to them about these things, and talk to them about their feelings and what it actually feels like. Tell him, aka her now, to explain to you how she's feeling. I'm gonna say they. I'm gonna go they. I'm gonna go non-binary, because even though I'm just talking to you about this, I don't want to disrespect your child. If they are trans, like if they are, I want to respect their pronouns. And if they aren't, I just still, like, I'm a respectful girly. But do the research too. Get involved. Get involved. Don't be scared about it. It's real. It's here. I am living testimony. It is not a mental illness. Now, what I can say about transness, though, I do feel like every person has a chemical imbalance, and I just feel like everything that you are is a chemical imbalance. You can call it good, you can call it bad, you can agree, you can disagree, but everybody has their chemical imbalances, right? Everyone, gays, straights, trans, everybody. Like, your makeup is your makeup. You are who you are. Like, that's just how I see things, right? So if your child is telling you this, listen, take heed. And even if they're not trans, find out why they want to even go to being trans, or they feel like they need to transition. Because a lot of times, too, these kids are just don't know themselves. They don't like themselves. They don't like the way life treats them. They don't like things around them. So they just want something changed. You ever have a friend, y'all, where they're like every 2-3 months they're changing the color of their hair, cutting their hair all the way off, going bald, doing something crazy and funky that just makes them feel like renewed or new, because they're looking for something. Like, y'all ever had that happen? Like, that right there is, it could be that too. You just don't know. So this is what the therapy and stuff is going to do for them. Just make sure that your child is trans. That is the first place. Just make sure they are. Take them to therapy, and the therapist will let you know all the things that you need to know, and then you just move forward. I don't, you're the medical part and things of that nature. 18 is right around the corner. Just, you can start the journey with them and have that conversation, and just know that you are supporting them. So yeah, I know it sounds tough, but there's ways to make sure that you can still be a good parent. Okay, y'all, let's go over to the next question. Okay, so this is a long, a long one, y'all. So I kind of saved it for last because, baby, it's gonna take some time. All right. It says, so I've been friends with this guy for years. At first, everything was going great until I noticed that they're only around when they need something. He barely supports me when I'm struggling or simply just need a friend. I found out on several occasions that he has been bad talking me behind my back. He dismissed my feelings when I bring it up to him and the issues and all that jazz. I've noticed that he seems a little happy about when things aren't going that well for me, but on the other side, he gets jealous when things are actually going right. Every time he hurts me, he apologizes, but only for the sake of keeping the friendship going. Before you know it, he's back to the way that things were again. I keep having hopes that he can go back to the friend that he used to be before all of this weird energy. I miss all of the good memories we shared. How do I deal? Because I've been fighting with this for way too long. Damn. So, if anybody can talk to this, it will be me, because I've had people switch up on me. I've had people switch up on me, and many a times, like in my 37 years of living, people are meant to come and go, right? Firstly, with this situation, just the one thing that stuck out to me the most was the sometimes happy when you are down, and a little, jealous when you are up. That right there is kind of like going to be the basis of this, because at the end of the day, jealousy is real, y'all. I need y'all to understand that. Like, our moms say this so much. They're just jealous of you, baby. Oh, baby, they're just jealous. It's like you hear it and it does not register for you for real. Besides some people really do, it registers and sticks. But it didn't register and stick for me. I couldn't fathom that somebody would be jealous of me when I thought that my life was crap. When I thought my life was the worst in the world because I was going through so much. I couldn't even think to see why somebody would be jealous of me. But a lot of times it's energy. People are upset that people like you. People are upset that, people gravitate towards you, or people get upset because it seems like your life is better than theirs. And unfortunately, when you're, young, it happens more often. Not to say you won't haven't had that happen in your adult years, but in your childhood years, it happens a lot, because no teenager or young person is thinking that their life is great. They all think it sucks. So I'm not sure who this is coming from and how old the person is, but this gives me definitely like younger person. Sorry if you're not. But to be honest, the energy and the talking behind the back, that's grounds for termination for me. Like, it don't take too much. People always say it about me, like, girl, you just be cutting them off and da-da-da, and you be letting people go, so on and so forth. But, I mean, it happens to you too many times. You just, okay, girl, vamoose, skedaddle. I'm going to have to catch you on the next episode of Stop Playing in My Damn Phase. It's a lot. And this right here, I understand it because I've held on to relationships because of longevity, simply because of longevity. Like, oh, we've been friends for 10 years. We've been friends for 20 years. And that's been my friend. But the whole time, the bitch been hating on you and talking behind your back and, just smiling at all of your downfalls and, plotting on your downfall and things of that nature. You just don't know how people are moving. And some people's relationships just don't work, right? If this person has been like this for a long time, honestly, what you need to do, what my girl said, she said, when people show you who they are, believe them. That's the truth of the matter. It's the truth. If they're showing you that this is who they are as a person, what you need to do, your next steps are to treat them accordingly. If that's not the type of friend that you're looking for after you done voiced your opinion, you let them know what you're feeling, your grievances and things of that nature, and nothing changes, and they only go on little spurts of being cool and everything is feeling like normal, you need to let go, but you need to find out why you're not letting go. A lot of times we have these attachments, like I said, because of longevity, because of the friendship, and just the simple fact you don't even want to be alone. They're good when it's good, but when it's bad, I don't like them at all. There's friends out there that are actually friends all the time and not just, per moment. They're there all the time. You don't ever have to second guess some people. I have friends that I've been friends with the whole time. I have friends I've been friends with the whole time. I'm talking about starting elementary school, middle school. I'm still friends with these people. Like, still. So, honestly, it's giving really snip. I don't want to tell you how, I don't like to make big decisions for people, right? To tell you, cut them off, get them out of here. No. Think to yourself, are you enjoying this friendship? When you're around this person, do you always feel good? Can you continuously deal with these things? And if you're writing for advice, then obviously you're at a point where you're ready to make a move and you're at a fork in the road. You're going to go right, which is the normal way. That's where you always go. You always go back to that person because it's from familiarity. Like, y'all know each other. You know he's going to do this, but you still got a friend sometimes. Or you're going to hit that left. And the left is you drop that friend and you go explore and go do things that you enjoy and keep being you. And people are going to gravitate towards you because of who you are. You don't want to be around nobody that's fake. Let me tell you what I would do if it was me, right? That's a better way. I would tell you what I would do if it was me. They asses would have been cursed out first because stop playing in my face. Stop playing with me. Like, you smirking a little bit when I'm telling you I'm struggling, baby. Come outside. Let's do a little one. Let's see what's really going on outside. Let's throw your shits up. For real. And then when you feeling a little jealous of me, like all that weird ass energy, absolutely not. You got to go. I'm kicking that ass to the absolute curb. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? So, to be honest, it's really simple. You stand at that fork in the road and you look both ways and you see which one makes more sense to you. Which one feels better? Freedom from this loop that you're in with this person, or getting back into the loop and just keep on praying that they're going to get on back on the righteous road of being a good friend? Huh? I'm sorry, I missed that. You didn't know? Okay, yeah. Because it's absolutely fucking not for me. No. You can't play with me like that. You can't play in my face when I'm a good friend to you. I'm a good friend, and I'm here for you, and I'm not getting that same thing in return. And then you're not even like, I can't lean on you. What's the point? Like, what's the point of a friend that I can't talk to, I can't lean on, I can't trust? You don't trust them. You don't trust them as a friend. And they talking behind your back? Slap the fuck? Like, what are we even talking about? But that's if it was me. And that is advice, y'all. All right, y'all. So I enjoyed this. I'm not going to lie. I love pouring into people. I love to problem solve. It's a part of who I am. It makes me feel so good. And so, just it makes me feel good. And I am like, listen, my advice is never going to be leave that man. My advice is going to be, well, if you want to continue getting your ass whooped, then stay with him. That's my advice, and that's how I give my advice. I'm very that when it comes down to things. Like, if you want to do it, then go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But also stop complaining, which brings me to a small, slight story time. So I had this friend, and me and her were thick as thieves, tight. Everybody just knew. You see her, you see me, so on and so forth. And she had this boyfriend. He was the absolute fucking worst kind. I mean, the absolute worst kind. He put his hands on her. He showed up with guns to her spot, getting her wrist to get put out. He talked down to her, talked shit to her, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But he still was around. So obviously my friend is obviously struggling with letting him go. Maybe she doesn't feel good about herself or whatever. So as a friend, I'm like, you're such a dope person. You're this, you're that, you're intelligent. Like, you don't deserve that. Like, just the things that friends do, just letting you know your worth, reminding you of your worth, because obviously me as your friend, I see it. Like, you T, bitch, you real T. And this went on for months. And then one day, we gonna make this story time short. One day, she was coming to me with the normal, loop-de-loop that she's in. Mind you, she just said that this was it. She done and she's good and he did this to her and she's good off of him, blah, blah, blah. So now she's coming back with, they got cool, right? She's like, oh yeah, we're good. He's been good, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then she hits me with, yeah, he said this to me. He called me a bitch. He did it, so on and so forth. And I said, look, it doesn't really look like you're trying to leave him. And if you're not going to leave him, stop complaining about him. He is your choice. You need to accept him for the man that he is. He is all of the things that you complain about. That's your one. If you like it, that's fine. Enjoy it, but don't be mad at him for just being himself. That is just who he is. He always curses at you. He always puts his hands on you. He always threatens you. He always talks down to you. That's just normal for him. And y'all, but don't complain about him, because what are you complaining for if you don't plan on leaving this man? That was the last conversation me and her ever had, because she cut me the fuck off. She cut me right on off and got me up out of here. And you know what? I don't even blame her, because to be honest, some people need people around them to just continuously enable them. And I just can't do it. I'm not like, you're going to end up balled up somewhere, and I'm going to be at your funeral looking down at your body like, damn. Only if I went harder for my friend, or I said more to my friend, or whatever. You're not going to leave that on my conscience. If you want to stay with him, stay with him. That's your business. But let's stop it here. Let's stop all of that hooting and hollering about him being such a horrible person, when he's your jam, bitch. You love this nigga. Like, he's for you. So, yeah, no, absolutely not. And, at first I was a little bit shocked about her walking away from the friendship, because I was like, wait, huh? Because we would like say it thick as thieves, but then I had to realize that it's okay. And do you really want to sit there and have conversations outside of him? She's an amazing person. I don't want to say she is an amazing person. She has a lot of great qualities with herself. She has a lot of good things coming for herself. And she is so smart and intelligent and just a hard worker. She's T, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, we don't talk anymore. I haven't talked to her literally since that day. I seen her one time later on down the line, but we only spoke and said hi and kept it the fuck moving, girl, because it is just that we are not there. But rightfully so. She should have cut me off, because I'm not the type of friend that's going I'm not pacifying this behavior. If you want to do it, but shut the fuck up crying about it. Like, he been punched you in the fucking face, bitch. What are you crying about? Hello? You better take them lashings and them hits like you been, and shut up. I don't want to keep hearing it because all you're doing is repeating the same thing. You're going to make me feel insane by doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. This is the same shit over and over. I'm going insane. I'm going to go crazy. I'm about to scream because I'm tired of hearing it. Y'all, be considerate of y'all fucking friends, for real. Like, yes, you have stuff going on. Yes, you want to talk and vent to your friends. You feel like you should get off your chest to your friends. But when you know that you're just living a fucking toxic life and you're doing toxic things, you can tell them about stuff. But if you don't plan on leaving, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, please. Y'all, that's just my thought process when it comes down to friendships and advice and the things. Like, it's starting to feel like a curse when it comes down to being me, because I lose friends for telling them the truth. They don't want to hear what the fuck I gotta say because they don't want to deal with it right now. Some people just don't want to deal with their reality right then and there. It happens, right? So am I mad at them? Should I stay mad at them? I shouldn't. I should learn to, accept and embrace, right? But I wasn't willing to accept being around my friend who was just running herself into a hole. I tried, but I can't fix or help you up out of something that you don't want to come out of. That's a big thing about giving advice. I can give advice 1,000 times over, but if you're not willing to do something about it, I'm just wasting my goddamn breath. Hello? I'm wasting my words. I'm wasting my thoughts. I'm wasting time that I won't ever get back by telling you something that you already know, and you want this more than you care about you and your well-being. Girl, boo. Not for it. All right, y'all. That is today's episode. I had such a good time, y'all. Love y'all so bad. Thanks for everybody that is listening, that's sharing, that's doing the things. I'm appreciating y'all. I do. We are going to be posting every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all, and we're going to be doing the things. I love that y'all participated in throwing in y'all advice for y'all. I love that y'all like that. I love that y'all are enjoying it. I love that y'all want to actually hear what I have to say. I've been doing this social media thing for so long, y'all. People know that I speak that shit. They know I'm wise. They know I have the things. So this isn't new. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's just new to the podcast world. But this was a great little one too, y'all. Now, for all my naysayers, y'all, thank y'all for always showing up. Thank y'all for coming through. Anybody that is new here today, thank y'all for joining. I bangs with y'all too. And if y'all made it this far, y'all really ate that up. I am not gonna lie at all. Okay, y'all, it is what it is. I said what I said, and whatever. It's just a podcast. All right, y'all, cue my outro. Because now that it's done, I made it on top. The word impossible is not impossible for me. And that's why I'm going to keep moving and keep doing it. Everybody's so quiet because there's nothing left to say.